Hello, everyone. I'm hoping I am doing this right. Again, this is I'm getting the hang of this live stream straight from YouTube. So let me see if you all start joining here. Okay. I'm going to wait a couple minutes to allow for people to start joining. There we go. So far we have a couple practitioners, so a couple participants joining. My apologies. And so I'm trying to figure out how to basically like I create the event, and then I was trying to figure out how to get it going so that you all could join. I know I had I think I said like 16 waiting, so I was trying to figure out how to do that. So here we go. I hope I did this right. Let me know. Thank you for being here. It's exciting to be sharing another channeling and another more information from the divine with you all. So thank you. So let's give everyone a couple hi. Let's give everyone one more minute, and then we'll get going with these messages. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, good. All right, I did it right. Yeah. So I see the event, and I am on now. Okay. So hope before I start, I guess we'll chat for one more minute, and then we'll get going. I had a beautiful reading today. And I actually just got off it, so sorry I was running a little late with that reading, as well as just getting lots of information. And it's funny because the angels don't realize, they don't run on time like we do. So sometimes they'll be like, oh, Aurora, we want you to share this, and it's like, oh, are you aware I am about to do a class? Are you aware I'm about to do a channel? So and then I need to write or start working or whatever they want me to do. And then at times I run a little late. But yes, it's so exciting. This week has been an overall intense healing week. A lot was what was going on, so I'm going to go ahead and get started now, guys. So a lot of what was going on. So everyone can hear me good, right? I think everyone can, because I don't have any messages that you cannot. So let me know if you can hear me good. And sometimes, especially when we are carrying high vibrational frequencies, the energies interfere. So okay, I think we are good. All right, no one is saying you cannot hear me. Now, I am very excited to be sharing a story with you all. Oh, thank you, Cody. Of why it is that we have chosen to be born specifically in the races that we've chosen, the families that we've chosen, or even the land as we've chosen. Okay, so I am going to be sharing a beautiful story with you all of one of my most recent incarnations. But before that one, I was Jew. So actually, my most recent one, I was Jewish, and I was in the concentration camps. But that's another story. But so what's been going on this week is that they want us to first of all, work on our energies. So specifically, I'll share a little bit of what was been going on with me. I've been having dreams of nightmares. I've been having where basically I'm being pushed to face any fears, any past trauma from either this life or past lives as well. And a lot of the majority of us really have been incarnated, and we've had really hard lives. We've gone through really some strong lessons for our soul expansions that we've agreed upon. And they just reminded me I had to light my candle, so let me light my candle. 1 minute. Okay. There we go. Oh, it's 1:11. Just realized that. Haha. Spread that love. Spread that love. And actually, I am going to basically, right now that it's 1:11, I'm going to share something briefly, really quick, before I move on back to my subject. I had a beautiful Aura session yesterday. And if you guys are not familiar with who I am a quantum alchemist, and I practice quantum hypnosis alchemy through basically it's called angelic universal regression alchemy. And what we offer through this is basically, this is not the first time we've quantum healed. We've done it through hypnosis. We're just bringing back those memories. And what happens, we're born and we forgot our memories. We have that veil around us, so now we need to figure out how to regain our memories. And we've always brought back hypnosis in whichever manner, through crystals, through energy work, through alchemy, specifically in Egypt, in Greece. I remember these lives when I was priestess or pharaoh. We this is how we were able to help others. One of the ways, but there was that many different modalities. So I had an aura session with someone yesterday. She is so beautiful. I am so excited to share it. And thank you to all of you who share the sessions. It is a gift for us, because they can have the sessions and not share them, but they choose to share them. But at least half of them don't actually go up. So just something for you to keep in mind. Some of them are so sensitive, or some of them are so intense that they are not shared. But yes, so with this client, she ended up going to the council, and a blue avian spoke through her, and beautiful messages. I asked the blue avian many, many questions that I've been waiting to get the right opportunity to ask. And the messages that he gave were really enlightening and inspirational for humankind, and how they work with us energetically every day, and how they're reaching out to us. So excited. So keep an eye on that. Actual session will be coming out next week. So that's just a little bit about it. So I asked them questions like how they work physically, how can they manifest. I also asked questions about the universal webbing. If there is basically planets that struggle to hold on to us when we are so dense in the density, and how it works. So really important information for us to know, and how we work there. And he was able to give it to us as one of the, in a sense, kind of like, ambassadors, or there's not really a word for it, but a guide for us. And his name was Arturiel. And but yeah, so going back to truly what this channeling is about, and I'll be going basically into a life channeling for myself. I'll be going back to this life that I remember when I was a Shawnee. I ended up being a chief along the way. Okay. Now, there is a reason why they've asked for this specifically in this time. And the reason is because they are looking for us to start healing ourselves, so that we may heal our past, our ancestors, who we are. Okay. Now, let me see if there's any other information. So I'm going to go through with you the past lives that I lived there, and share some of the beautiful ways that we had then, when we were connected to the land, before basically the English came in and invaded, and took away these beauties that we had. All right. So I'm going to start taking some deep breaths, and I'm going to start talking about this life. And I'm going to I tried for the most. I'm going to try to keep my eyes closed so I can bring forth those memories clearly, but I'll open them whenever I need to as well. So thank you all for being here. Thank you. It is such an honor. Such an honor. Thank you. I tell you a story today of a beautiful little girl. A little girl who was I in this time And I see myself in a place where I am running around barefoot, and I must be about 4 years old. And I am running through the forest, enjoying the animal life, the plant life around me. And we are free. We are not bounded. We are not controlled. And I can hear the whispers of the trees. They talk to me. They love me. They're so happy by me. They love my energies, my heart, my purity, the love that I have for them and for all life. And they speak telepathically to me, as well as the animals. I speak to the insects. You can see me just running around, enjoying, laughing, full of love, and joy and happiness, free, free as you can be. Stopping by a ladybug, talking to it, having a conversation with it, passing by a tree and giving it a hug, and laying on it and taking a nap on it, knowing that I am protected and there's no harm to come to me. Talking to the water, feeling the life within the water, and telling it how much I love it. Seeing the reflection of me in the water, and playing with the ripples to see how my reflection shifts within the water. Such joyful, freeing times we had then within our spirituality. Running around in fields of flowers, laying back on the ground, feeling the earth beneath me, looking above, watching the hawks and the eagles fly by, connecting to them, the animals talking to me, knowing that I could talk to the animals and they could talk to me. They love me dearly as I love them. As time passes by, I grow and grow. And at about the age of 7, I discover 2 puppies, 2 wolves, one white and one black. Not sure what happened to the mother. I just know that they are there and they are placed there in my path for a reason. I decide to bring them home. My parents aren't too happy about it because they're wolves. They live in the wild. Though we honor and respect them, they are concerned. How can you care and tame, in a sense, a wolf? However, they allow for me to be free because we allow for the children then to express themselves and to follow spirit. We have crystals with us that are our guides and ancestors, and we understand that they can speak through these crystals, and we allow for them to guide us. We work with the herbs freely, understanding that every single plant, every single tree, every single piece of a tree, and every single different type of tree has a healing property that can aid us. Ancient teachings and how we are able to heal ourselves with mind, body, and soul. We work with meditation, we work in a ritual sense of harming none, for my tribe is one who is balance of this nature and understand the oneness of the spirit and honors and loves and respects everything that is given to us. And throughout time, I grow taller and the wolves grow bigger and bigger. And I learn how to make, my father teaches me how to make my very own bow and arrow. And this bow and arrow is so special to me, and my father is so special to me, for he is the chief of the village. He is strong, he is protective, he is wise, he is noble, and he is fair. And most importantly, he has a kind heart, loves his people, and leads with love and nobility and compassion. He teaches me how to yield, how to aim a bow and arrow. And I've become so good at it, just as I am now, with my phoenix fire and my intuition, and accepting all that is of me within my abilities, for we were free then, and we understood that we were gifted, and we weren't necessarily from this earth. Some of us were from beyond the stars, and our ancestors came from the stars. We understood this oneness. And we honored and loved and respected these type of beliefs. I've become really good with my bow and arrow. Aiming, shooting at it, shooting the arrow, it becomes an extension of me. Where I get to the point where I don't even need to have my eyes open. I'm just using my senses within my pineal gland, within my third eye, to shoot it, to aim it at the target that is desired. Though I harm none, I refuse to harm animals. It is more of a sport. And in my village, we honor and respect the divine feminine as equals to the males. So we allow for them to use weapons and tools, though we still focus on the healing and the food and the herbs, while the males help with the fields and the hunting when necessary and the building. The men honor and respect the women as the leaders of their households within union with them. And throughout time, I have a direct psychic telepathic communication with my wolves as we run around through the forests and the hills and the waters, just joyfully having fun year after year as we grow together. The black one always goes ahead of me and protects me telepathically, always talking to me. And the white one always stays by my side, refuses to leave, stays by my side always. And I can telepathically talk to them. Go left, go right. What's going on? What are we going to do now? What's coming up uphill? And I love to go on my adventures. The black one always on attack mode and protective mode. Not attack mode, protective mode over me. And we become very much a union of us three, of understanding each other. And this is admired now within my village. They admire the connection that I have with my wolves and the love that we have for one another and the respect and how we take care of one another. And then throughout time, I become older, and a beautiful man comes from another tribe. Our tribe was the Shawnee. And this man, there's something different about him. And he comes from the Syaks clan tribe. But he's a rebel. He's not accepted in this clan. And we accept him in, for we see the potential in him. And my father's noble heart's always giving others chances. And throughout the time, I grow about 12, 13 when he comes into our tribe. And he starts, he has a connection with me, so he tries to impress me and do special things that when people are starting to feel love for one another do. And I mostly go about my business, noticing him and just being me. There comes a time when I am about 17, 18, and my wolves are still there with me. And there is a time where we are choosing, in this year, we are choosing who will be our companions, our mates. Throughout this time, we've remained friends and build that connection romantically. So in this time, I've decided that I, as the chief's daughter, will choose him as my companion. And I make this beautiful necklace made of stones and shells that we've collected throughout time. And as we women sit in a circle, the males who we have chosen dance a beautiful dance for us around the fire at night. They dance a beautiful dance, and we honor them and we watch them in love for the beautiful dance that they are dancing for us. You could imagine going around in circles, and just like you see at powwows, how the masculines dance beautifully, going to the rhythm of the drum. And I watch him passionately and intently as he dances for me. And the beautiful ceremony comes to an end, and I place this beautiful offering of a necklace, which binds us energetically. See, in these times before the English came, we understood that the divine feminine brought forth, at least I can speak in our tribe, brought forth life within our womb. We created. We were the creators. Therefore, the male would take on the woman's name when he would marry, when he would we'll go with Mary. So he took on my name, and We honored everything that we did together and all that we did within sacred union, within sacred sex, within our children. We birthed children with a knowing and understanding that there needed to be a sacredness when these children were being born. Nothing hazardous, all natural. Exercises, oils, herbs, ceremonial. We invoked and called upon our ancestors in ensuring that the child would birth without infringement upon their energies in a safe manner. And I too then remembered the sacred alchemy that I teach now. And we birthed 3 beautiful children throughout time. And the wolves were still there with me, protective over the children, protected over our family. And time passed, till we got to our 30s. I was in my 30s, and we started hearing of Englishmen invading, and we heard of it throughout time, though. We started hearing that they were getting closer to us. My father decided, what were we going to do? He decided that we were going to try to make peace with them, try to see if we can commune with them and aid them, just as we sacredly energy exchanged everything. No money system then. Perhaps we can help them and helping them live in this land, and they can help us. So therefore, my father allowed a settler, an English settler that was speaking, to come into our village, and he spoke to him and gave information from us and different things that they needed. But he noticed that his heart, that there's something behind. He wasn't talking from his heart. He was talking from his mind and his negative side of his ego. We gave him what he could, but he knew in his gut, in his heart, in his stomach, that he was not to be trusted. This man was looking for values that we had within our village, what we had that they can use for their own benefits, just like they did through all the tribes, for they were not being led from their hearts, they were being led from, we could envision like dark clouds over their mind, and it's all around their head, and now this darkness is connected and it enhances and controls their minds telepathically, energetically. It guides them. And we as seers, as shamans, we can see this in these beings. We call them long knives. And my husband, who is my husband now, Zen, he was very good with protecting our family and protecting the village. Strong, intuitively, could meld into the trees and become completely silent and not be heard. Could become one with the earth and the bushes and the leaves. Silence his energy completely where he could not be found when there was settlers trying to come into our village and harm us, as well as other husbands. There came a time where my father had to make a decision. What do we do? They want to harm us. We've tried the peaceful manner and this is not working. What will we do? They are being guided by this dark clouds over their heads. And I had, as I do have prophetic dreams every life, if I had a dream that they were going to come on a specific day and they were going to invade our village and wipe us out. I talked to my father and I told him, and they knew to trust my visions. He told me to prepare, that they were going to fight, and I told them that I didn't see a way out of this. I didn't see us, the men, overcoming this. And they came forth with their guns, overpowering us. Though we held strong, our warriors held strong, hiding in the trees, in the bushes, and in the lands. And he told me that I was in charge of the village, to guard the village, to stay back as they went forth, surrounding our village in protection, spreading out the men. And I stayed behind with the women and the children. And my oldest went with my husband as well, my oldest boy. Sorry, give me 1 minute. And I can sense, as I was the phoenix then, the firebird, I can sense them being defeated but standing strong. And I can feel the minute my father was killed. I could feel the minute my beautiful husband was murdered. And I could feel when my oldest was killed. I could feel them coming. I could feel them coming to the village. And the women stood strong with me with their weapons, and whichever weapons they had. But they attacked us. And the little ones, they grabbed them alive. And they came with fire and they burned with their horses, and they ran through our village and they burned our homes. They burned our sacred places, and they grabbed our children, they yanked them from us, and they threw them in the pit of fire. And we watched as some of our children died in fire. My little ones went. But I wouldn't give up. I knew that now I was the chief in my job, and I could hear spirit and my guides and my angels that I needed to figure out how to keep our clan, our tribe alive. So the little women that were left, I taught them to trust me and to hear me. And the wolves were with me, and we ran. And we ran and we hid, and we became one with the trees, and we ran fast and hard. And they listened to me, for they knew how to silence their mind and hear my telepathy and the inner knowing with their guides and angels. And they followed me. It's just a few of us left, maybe about 10. And we ran to save, for we understood that all was gone there and it was destroyed. Our wolves stood with me, and as the men would come closer, that were trying to hunt us down and find us, in my beautiful white deer skin, I stood strongly with my bow and arrows, and the black wolf would go behind us and would attack them silently and stop them. And as they ran ahead of me, I would stay behind, continually guiding them. And we carried on and we carried on through the lands. And I would, as some of them would get closer, I would shoot them. I would stop them. I was determined to keep us alive. For I had seen this already. I had seen this path already, and I knew what I had to do. And we allowed spirit to guide us. And we traveled south, south, down, down. We kept traveling down south, where we heard that we were able to be more free, a little more free than where we are here. And my wolves remained by our sides as we fed ourselves with what we had. And at this time, I did need to hunt animals to feed ourselves. We fed ourselves with berries, whatever we can find. And we traveled all the way down till we reached the lands of Mexico. And we found a beautiful place near what is called now Veracruz, Mexico. And we settled here, near these waters. And I lived my life there. And never remarrying, with a heart that could never be healed from losing my beloved, my father, my tribe, but knowing that I had saved us. See, our ancestors were Mayans, the very Mayans that were led by a priestess that came forth from the land of Atlantis when they sunk. And this priestess brought forth information to the Mayans. And the Mayans eventually spread out onto the North Americas. And we knew that our connections were there to the Mayans, though it was now future in time when this happened. And we still had some of those ancient teachings that this Atlantis priestess brought to the Mayans of the astrology and the information to come of the shifting of the December 21st, 2012, and the honorable ways of to live in oneness with our alien ancestors. And I settled down knowing that we had this wisdom still, and that we had saved, and the woman that came with me procreated there, and we were able to save. And I spoke to my beloved in spirit, in dream time and meditation, my children, missing them every day. Until the day came that throughout time, I had a prophet born from one of the ladies, one of my sisters, a little girl. This little girl was so beautiful. Her heart was pure, and I taught her all the ways of our ancient teachings. And I came to the point where I passed away knowing that I had saved this information with her. But unfortunately, throughout time, the Spaniards also invaded and took away this information and forced Christianity and Catholic religions upon us. But I passed away with a knowing and understanding that I had saved our bloodline. And those very people now exist within this land and have spread out through Mexico. And the reason why I share this story with you all is because now that I have incarnated, I was incarnated, and I share with you all this because there is a reason why you've been incarnated into the races that you are, whether you're Mexican, whether you're Asian, whether you're Japanese, whether you're, from England, Italian, French, whatever reason you've been incarnated, there's a reason why. And the reason why is because we are here to heal our ancestors, which are us. For we've been forth in cycles. So, therefore, I am both my ancestor as well as I am who I am here, standing forth, sitting here in this chair with you all. And when I was born, I was basically born in a land near Chicago, and I was throughout time. My family relocated to a town which is called now Cicero. Now, in this town, it is basically it's only really Hispanic Mexicans typically, and I would say about 99% of them are Mexican. And this is quite unique for a town to just have this many Mexicans there. And since I was there, a teenager there, and I really started working with the land, and I didn't know then that that's what I was doing. But the angelic started working with the land and starting to heal the pain of our people. We were Native American, but we ended up in Mexico. So we are now just truly returning back to our homeland. This is why so many Mexicans feel calling to come back up here, because at least half of them were from this area of the land. Now, the reason they told me in this land in Cicero, where there was lots of Mexicans, was because they explained to me that they were my people. They were my very same people who carried fractals who were incarnations and essences of the people then, of my tribe then, that were brutally murdered and, taken completely. And I know this was a very hard story to share, so thank you for all, for listening to it. But this is the truth. These are some of the things that occurred to us then. And throughout time, they helped me heal. They helped me heal with my energies. And you can see the shifting from when I started coming into this land and how the angelics and their guides and their angels were healing them. And you can see that in the children. These children are so special. They're very open. They're throughout, I used to do guided meditation, and I would talk to them, and I would do help them, and they would naturally go into their guided meditations within seconds in their schools. And they will travel to past lives. They will travel to memories. They would speak to their deceased grandparents and my children, as well as we are, we heal. We are a collective as a family. You're here, your parents are here, your children are here, and they are there as a collective. Some of them are not fully awakened, but you will still have some in your family that are partially awakened or are awakened, that are here to heal. So the reason why I bring this is because this is how we started healing. This collective here, our tribe there. And think about the ways that you are here and why you've been born to the land, why you are in that specific land, why you've been born to the families that you have. And think of how can I now help heal my ancestors, which were me. So think of this. And work with the land, work with your guides, work with the benevolent beings, work with trying to see, when we heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors. And that is the biggest goal here. And right now, basically, the Raw Collective is asking for me to help you start learning and understanding and becoming connected. So if you are from an Indian culture, why were you born as a Indian from India? If you are Asian, why were you born there? What are things that have happened in your past of your ancestors that acquire healing? And I know this sounds minimal, but it is truly huge. When we look back and we try to connect to our hearts and think of different things of history that have happened to us, that have been that we've lived through so much violence and pain and wars. Envision that in a manner like it is a dark energy, and it is an energy that is waiting to be healed with love light. And heal it within your heart. And when you heal this within you, you will feel a lightness within you. You will feel cords within you that have been there for lifetimes because of this pain. You will feel them disintegrating. You will feel them cutting off. Work with your guides and your angels. If you are of a blue ray, as Archangel Michael recently channeled, work within your swords of cutting off these cords that hold you heavy. And remember who you are, for we all have at some point lived lives that we were free in this manner. Thank you for being here. So one of the things that I wanted to share as well as is these are some of the nightmares that have been coming forth. So you all will be experiencing, as I said in the beginning, things that need healing right now. Okay. So specifically, I was having nightmares a couple nights in a row, and I was asking, I was like, why do I have to keep having these nightmares? This is tormenting. Please, someone please aid me in not having these fearful nightmares anymore. So then I was talking to Lucifer, Archangel Lucifer, who is the light bringer, Helio. And when I talked to him and I told him, I was like, hey, I can't bear these dreams anymore. And he explained to me that I needed to heal. I needed to heal myself and heal my ancestors, and specifically this life that held me so heavy. And that is why the easiest way for us to heal in this dimension is for us to dream our fears. Dream what holds us heavy. So therefore, that is why we sometimes have nightmares, because in order for us to, for example, not help them create or come into fruition, um, our angels, our guides will instead help us live them and create them into our dream time. And then in our dream time, we help them come up so that they may heal. And this is how you heal. So if you have a fear, they will make you have that fear, and then they will help you. And his answer was like, Aurora, I can't help you. Only you can help yourself. You have to go in there and heal these pains. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started working on that, and I really started getting in touch. And I made a commitment. I'm going to start really speaking more Spanish and honoring my heritage there, and as well as getting connected to the Shawnee, who were the originals before they went to Mexico there. So think of different ways that you can heal. Maybe read stories, speak to your parents, speak to your grandparents. What are some of the things that we can help us and our ancestors heal? And then allow for them to come forth into your heart, and then transmute them. And the easiest way to transmute these energies that hold us heavy is to basically feel them in your heart, and then envision a flame. Envision a flame, your heart in a flame. And then you, with your imagination, free flowly allowing for those memories to come forth in the heart, and then you allow for them to basically, you envision them kind of like a phoenix flame, disintegrating but healing at the same time, having rebirth. And anytime you have, truly, you could do this anytime you have a lower type of density, a wound that has not been sealed yet. You bring it in the heart, because these wounds block out your light. Um, Archangel Metatron often comes to me, he tells me, Aurora, these worries or these pains that you've had, and we've all had them, you know, um, they're not healthy for you, and they're not, most importantly, healthy for your heart. And it drains your light, and it makes it dimmer. So be brave. Be brave. Stand in your empowerment. Stand in your feet. Stand in your flame, and heal yourself and heal your ancestors, please. Thank you all so much for hearing this. I am going to be sharing another live channel next week. I got to figure out when that's going to be. And then also keep an eye on that blue avian. But before I finish up, I'm going to see what questions you guys have, though. The blue avian share there, where they confirmed a lot of things that basically the Raw Collective had shared with me. So it's really good information for you all to understand more of the blue avian race. Okay? All right. Okay, so let me see if you all have any questions. And thank you for being here. I know that was a really hard one to share. Whew, and it was a hard one to listen. So thank you for hanging in and actually listen to it. And then perhaps next time I will share the life that I had when I was an Atlantis priestess, and brought forth that knowledge and wisdom over to the Mayans, and how that was like when I discovered that land. So let me know if you guys do want to hear that story. Okay. I remember that I came onto the land, and I was like, oh my goodness, these beings are not as developed as us. Okay. All right, so let's see. Okay, Marilyn says that she's been having nightmares as well. Mini, you said that you posted a question a couple times, but it seems to be getting erased. I don't know why it's being erased. Zen's not here. Sorry. Okay. Beautiful love messages on here. Thank you, guys. Sam is talking about he died in a past life of wall greenish water. I couldn't see the top. Yeah, so that's definitely a life, where you drown. It seems like there's some kind of war going on there around you too. Kay says, beauty everywhere in the earth and in the air. Absolutely beauty. You're going to feel very empowered after. Remember, we got next month coming up, and we're trying to prepare you for the new beginnings there, new creational energies. Month of completion this month. Let's complete those things that hold us heavy. Let's heal them. Let's see what else here. Okay, people asking questions about what I was channeling. Interesting fact is actually those wolves, the black and white wolves, are actually right here with me. They are if you've seen them in my videos, they're the white dog and the black dog that I have. So they're right back here. And I remember also then we were in touch with our dragons then as well, our dragon energy. But again, that was taken away from us. They made them look into evil, and they took away our spirituality, and then they replaced it with the religion and told us that dragons were evil. But back then we were working with dragon energies as well. And I remember having this beautiful crystalline rainbow dragon, that serpentine, that would wrap itself around me and guide me and help me evolve throughout time. So these lessons, of these Native American lives that we've lived, that some of you have had past lives that you remember that you were Native American, and you unfortunately went through horrific, experience like this as well. So those lives are needed right now to be healed. Okay, especially because we live here, right? We live in this land that there's been so much blood, unfortunately, soaked with blood. It's so sad. Okay, so let me see if there's any other questions here. Okay. Thank you. You guys are just saying sweet, nice things about us making it there. And yes, it was so sad. But, as we know, unfortunately, these things happen to us because we choose to experience them. We choose, only through experience can we have that growth within the spirit. And as hard as they are, they make us. I am who I am here in growth and compassion and love for others because of the pains and heartaches and tortures that I've been through, that I still feel, and my heart still heals every day. I am who I am, and that is why I feel such compassion and love for you, because of these difficulties and pains that I've gone through. They've created me into who I am. Okay. Beautiful. Let's see, just beautiful messages. Thank you, Aurora. So Alma's asking, Aurora, so the nightmares we are having, we can meditate on them and then transmute them with the heart? Yes. So that's what's going on. So you're having them, and then you're transmuting them. And I know it's hard for us to have these nightmares, but when we're transmuting them, what better way to help them basically balance out the karma is what you're doing. You're balancing out that karma. Anytime your guides show you a nightmare, it is not because they're trying to torment you, or they're trying to make you go into fear. They're actually trying to push you out of your fear. They're trying to help you evolve, grow from your fear, expand from it, so that you can let it go, you may release it, and you may allow for it to heal. Okay? So that is why you're showed nightmares. So yes, definitely transmute. So say you're having a nightmare, when you go into bed, set an intent. I had a nightmare, that felt really, rough on me. Now I'm going to, as I go to bed, I'm going to set an intent. May this energy be transmuted. I call upon my higher self and my angels and my guides. And if you want to work with the fire elements, and the Arcturians really work especially with this pure fire energy. And I want it to be transmuted. Help me as I sleep for it to be transmuted and turned into light. And with this light love, let me create something beautiful for myself without harming anyone. What do I want to create? And may I wake up the next day with a knowing and an understanding, and my heart lighter, understanding that these energies have been transmuted as they needed to be. Okay. All right. Yes, thank you. A Night Fury said, "I am brave for sharing the story, warrior." Yes, it is hard. um, so Linda says, last night she had a dream someone made a movie exposing all her faults. Yeah, so then that's something that she wants to go into and find out. So why do I worry about others not fitting, about me not fitting in among others? And what was your reaction? Did you embrace your faults? Did you grow from them, or did you instead hide them? Okay. And the faults, there are our uniqueness. We are perfectly imperfect. We are so beautiful, every one of us. And the differences that we have, our faults, those are our uniquenesses and our beauty within us. So I challenge you to embrace all those faults that you see within you, and love them and understand them, and self-love. Okay, so that's what that dream meant there. They're trying to help you evolve from that, because when we find self-love is when we can evolve our abilities, our gifts. Um, Self-love is one of the biggest things that the people who run the place go for. They want to keep you not loving yourself, thinking that you have to be perfectly skinny, thinking that you have to have big boobs, thinking that you have to have big muscles, so these are things that they target you so that you will not self-love. And so this is our biggest, one of our biggest missions right now, is to forgiveness and self-love, because through this gateway, through this key within our heart, can we become service to others in 51 percentile, when we learn how to self-love and truly accept ourselves. Okay. Gabby, hola hermana. They've been having me sing. I love to sing. That's another thing. I just love to sing. I've been singing for the last couple of days. I just keep singing and singing. So enjoy your music. Sing more. Sing. When you sing, it lifts your spirits instantly. It's a frequency. It lifts that frequency right up. Alma says she saw a white dragon in her dreams. Cool. Beautiful. Yep, she is a dragon of source, a dragon of purity. Keep talking to her. Someone says, Asen. Wait, so the forces that oppress us all are the enemies of our sovereignty? Um, yeah, if you want to look at it that way. I don't like to do evil and bad and enemies. I don't like to do that because as the Raw Collective, we teach that every lesson is, every experience is a lesson to help us grow and catalyze us. Because remember, we chose to be here. Yeah, so let's see what else here. So we're going to do 2 more minutes and then we're going to finish this up. Okay, guys? Thank you for being here. Okay. So what do you do? Bella wants to know, what do you do when you don't know your past? So your guides challenge you. What are you doing? What are you doing to remember your past? See, we think, okay, because I don't specifically remember details, I don't remember my past. But when in actuality, our past or even our future, specifically our past in this realm, has created us into every piece of us is a creational force of our past. So in this life, we learned that we couldn't trust. So now we know in this life to not be so gullible. In this life, we learn to that perhaps our children were taken from us at a young age, and it taught us to this life to instead embrace and love our children, and to honor them. So it made us into a more beautiful parent. And now from that life, now we know, let's be safe. Let's trust our hearts. Let's not trust everything that people tell us or guide us with. Let's trust our heart discernments. So every different life has a different, and it has like a puzzle. It's like all puzzles, and it's intertwined into you, and it's all within your soul's blueprints, in your spine, in your pineal gland, in your senses. It's all there, waiting to be awakened when you are ready. Okay. So perhaps an easy way for you to do this is, if you want to remember, okay, okay, so for example, this life, why do I feel so strongly about the children? Okay. And then you want to meditate and start trusting. See, our biggest mistake is that we don't trust ourselves. Okay. um, Start trusting what we're going to receive through our heart. And so they're going to show us a life where we work with children, or perhaps a memory that we have before we even incarnated, where we were told, okay, you're going to work with children. But then the minute we get that vision, the minute we get that inner knowing, that feeling, that sensation, because remember, your guides talk to you not through just vision. Our biggest gift that we can have is actually our hearts, our strength, our heart discernments. So they will speak to us through our inner knowing. But the minute they show us this, we because we've been taught again not to believe in ourselves, our frequency lowers. We lower our frequency when we don't believe it. So living in a frequency of soul expansion and surrender and wonder, using your imagination free flowly, just like when you were a child and you were allow for your imagination to create stories in your head, to draw whatever they wanted, whatever you wanted to create. That's how the flow, that you need to start basically embracing your inner child and start remembering that joyfulness. Bring forth that joy once more into your life, so you can start connecting to some of those past lives, and that's how you develop your pineal gland. And I also have a class going on right now, but if you didn't miss it, it's not too if you missed it, it's not too late to sign up. You could always watch the recording of it, where we actually went into the pineal gland, and then we went all the way up to actually the 12th chakra, and we were given specific alchemy symbols and how to develop ourselves. And these are sacred teachings that I remember from Egypt, from Atlantis, that we would use, the sacredness, and how we would teach the children and the people who lived among us, that were awakened within their hearts. Okay, so let me see if there's anything. Okay, so yeah. Carolyn or Caroline. She said she had a dream where there was a reptilian overpowering her. Yeah, we are in dream time. We're doing a lot of works with reptilian consciousness. Um, so something you might want to start meditating upon what's going on with this reptilian, and I would, if I were you, I would watch some of those sessions that I shared on reptilians so that you could become more informed upon how they work. And then also working within the love light within you and surrounding yourself more with that so that the reptilian won't overpower you because they are powerful. They can really mess with your mind. Um, Also, when Angelica asked a question, what about those of us who end up living in the foreign lands? Would there be a connection with the ancestors of both places? Yes. So say that you were born in one land and then you go to another, you relocate. You've actually lived in each one of those lands. We don't realize that. That's why you've been placed in the land, to help it heal and to help that past you that perhaps suffered, or the past ancestors that lived there, to help them heal. So yes, there's a reason for everything. There's an absolute reason for everything. Say, for example, there is things that happen to us in our lives that help us heal. So, for example, say you are going to be a foster parent, okay, and you're going to adopt a foster child, and we don't realize that actually, when we adopt that foster child, we are actually, as we help heal that individual child, we are helping the collective heal of the foster children who are in pain, who are suffering, who we know, that they're being, um, sorts of things are happening to them. So we're helping that. And this is why we've chosen that path. So think of right now, think of everything that you've chosen in your path and how it is that by you doing it, how it is that by you evolving from it and healing it, that you helped, um, the collective in our past or in our current time. Okay. Um, Maria says the Yeshua. She said Joshua, but I think she means Yeshua Aura session that really kept her crying all day. Oh yes, I think I'm still crying over it. He's so beautiful. Today he decided to play a song for me. Uh, it goes, "You are beautiful in every single way." Christina Aguilera. Words can bring you down. No. So, our angels will play music for us and our guides to help us heal. Pay attention. Yes, singing brings joy to the heart, Lily, no matter what is happening. All right. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you for such beautiful messages there. So I end this with, I don't know why they keep telling me to sing. I can't believe they're gonna make me do this. But there is a beautiful song that I love by Macklemore, and my heart is beating because I'm gonna sing a little clip of it. Just gonna go for it. Oh well, whatever. Um, and he basically Yeshua told me, he just reminded me, Yeshua told me that he actually helped him write that song, so he channeled that information, where I forget the name of it, but he's talking about his uncles and being gay and how they were oppressed. Okay, and so I'm gonna sing little clips of it and then a little clip at the end, so I'm just gonna go for it. Sing along. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Love is patient. Love is kind. 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 I'm not crying on Sunday. 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 Love is patient. Love is kind. Little clip. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. But the reason why I chose those specific words is because that was Yeshua specifically saying those words and how to love one another. And specifically the Sunday one, it was a reference to religion. And he was talking about how we've been oppressed this whole time. And if you haven't watched that Yeshua channeling, watch that Yeshua channeling where he's talking about religion and some of his teachings. And basically he talked through a somnambulist, which is a person that, their consciousness wasn't there, their human consciousness wasn't there, so only the benevolent being spoke through there. So I was a little nervous when I sang, but and thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. So he's talking about the pain there in Sunday and really channeling through that song. So I love that song. So thank you all. May you all have a beautiful weekend. I am going to try to take this weekend off. I just been on a roll, sharing so many videos, and then the Blue Avian video should be up sometime, hopefully next week. You all have a beautiful weekend. Get ready for next week. Get ready for November. Love you all. I honor you. I thank you and I respect you. Blessings, blessings. Talk to you all later. Thank you.